Hello and welcome everyone to the first match of week 2. Actually, that is not true, Monte Carlo Method. The first match of week 2 that was streamed was actually yesterday.
Yesterday.
We once again try and allow people to be a little bit flexible on their scheduling, so it was yesterday on the channel. But this is the official first week 2 match. How'd your week 1 go?
Our week 1 went pretty well. We had it was the first, of course, game that we had played as a team in the league. We all knew each other from beforehand, but it's good to be back in a competitive setting.
So
I caught yours.
Yeah, mine went pretty well. It was on stream. A nice 2-0 against actually one of the teams tonight. We 2-0'd Gold Salamanders, and they are here. And the unique styles out of their pro draft is very interesting to deal with. As being on the opposing end of it in their first match, they had us for such a loop in game 1 that the Tryndamere got snowballed and nearly won them the game from it. But let's see what they can do in this match.
Yeah, so we actually suffered, I would say, almost as much as you did, because we had to sit there, watch their draft, and then predict what it was they were going to do, and we had to tell all of Twitch chat what they were going to do. Made us look like idiots. At least you only had to play against it. Now, you have to do that too.
Yeah, I'm not going to take as many liberties as probably you guys tried to take with that. As Set,
I'm done taking liberties with this team.
Set is officially banned because he's available for week 2 matches. It's been a full 7 days coming out, and so that is impressive that they're just instantly banning. Maybe they haven't had a chance to deal with it yet, or they don't have anyone that plays it, so they're not going to try.
I'd put money on either one of those. I also ban a champion for the first week of ranked. I don't want to see anyone who's good with it, and I don't want to see anyone who's bad with it, so it's always a risk.
And Gold Salamanders, their Zach actually played pretty well in game 1 coming out last week. Got off some decent ganks to get rolling, as SEAL Team 6 is going to respond with the Jarvan and Alistar, looking for some early aggression and some CC of their own.
So one thing I want to note about Gold Salamanders is they seem to have learned a lesson after playing against you guys. They immediately went out and they got rid of the hard engaged supports. They said, no Leona, no Nautilus, we're tired of leaving our bot lane up for a kill lane.
Yeah, well, Alistar can maybe set that up. They're also going to go with a traditional ADC. See? Learning.
I don't believe it. Well, I'll bet she's mid or something.
Now, the Misfortune did play support, and it was kind of rough in certain situations. That Make It Rain and Slow Down was kind of impactful. We'll see how C2 6 support Thime Burglar.
Thime
Burglar. Oh, Jason. Some of these names are great.
This is an opportunity that they have to screw us up again. Both of those AD carries have been known to play support in the past. The support Ashe and the support Misfortune. Do you think either of them are support?
I'm going to go Ashe, AD carry, Misfortune support.
Right, just because you've seen it once before.
Just because I've seen the Misfortune support before, and actually their support played in their match, played pretty well. Like for her role and team comps and stuff, there were a few team fights where we killed everyone except for the Misfortune, who was standing in the back, just like as far away from everyone as making it rain. Right? Her job's like, I make it rain and I put up bullet time and then I stand there and wait till Make It Rain comes off cooldown. That's what support Misfortune does, and that's what she did. So now we got tanks bans coming out.
That's a lot of beef that's getting banned out here by both sides. Leona, Nautilus, Mundo. Warwick can get pretty beefy. Set, of course. Ornn, one of the biggest hyper tanks. Which tank is next?
I don't know.
Not a tank, Diana. Okay.
Yeah. Well, they still got 2. Oh, nope. Finally locked in there. So, I don't know. What else? What other tank? Okay, Malphite. Well, I guess they do have 2 kind of immobile AD carry. Immobile backline. How about that?
That's true. They can
Malphite
both.
just kind of crush them.
They can put out a lot of slows, but you can only slow Mundo for so long before he finally does catch up with you.
And Malphite is unstoppable, so.
You can't slow him.
What other would you expect coming out from SEAL Team 6 here? They were the other team, sadly, in this division here who went 0-2 in their first week. Do you think that they've developed anything coming out for this week that they've learned from, maybe?
I don't know. This will be my first time seeing them. I did not catch their first game. So this is a bit of an educational experience for me.
Okay. Well, I've seen some of these guys have been around the SEAL community for a while, so them in this specific team comp hopefully gets put together well as that. Okay, that's a Gangplank.
It looks like Gold Salamanders gets their preferred top laner.
Oh, that is true. Forgot that we played against a sub in our match and not their preferred top laner. Their top laner's most played champion for Fat Honey Badger on Gold Salamanders is Gangplank. So with that being the most played, they pick Mordekaiser. I get Mordekaiser mid?
I'm going to have to say so. I mean, unless of course they're flexing their mid laner to top, but I don't think you take your top laner's most played champion and give him to your mid laner. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, but you can take the person and move him, as we will have two.
It's a double 80 carry.
Is this the team? There was a team last year in one of the divisions that ran dual 80 carries in all their games. Mid lane and 80 carry. They always ran dual 80 carries. So I wonder if they've played or scrimmed this. Those are kind of mobile, right? I mean, there's not really a back line because Ezreal and Lucian kind of have to be kind of close.
Right, so we wind up giving SEAL Team 6 a couple of mobile 80 carries and Gold Salamanders a couple of immobile but with a little bit of self-peel 80 carries. This might come down to who can engage the hardest. Both of these teams have some reasonable engage to them. Gold Salamanders with Zac. Does anyone have a longer range, more reliable engage than Zac?
Ash?
I'm really not sure. Maybe. It's a little. I think the hitbox is a little bit smaller on hers, though.
Well, the longer it goes, though, I think the better it is.
Right, the longer the CC is.
Yeah.
But we also have on the other end, we've got a Jarvan. What's an EQ Flash R? Well, that's an engage. Alistar, same thing. Mm-hmm. It'll be kind of interesting to see whether these teams decide they want to go for the 5v5 or whether the game sorts out to be a 5v5 or a couple of 1-4s. I could easily see Gangplank or Mordekaiser splitting against the Jax. Of course, if Gold Salamanders does this well, they could very easily pull off a 1-3-1 with the Gangplank and a Mordekaiser taking solo lanes and treating the Zax just as a disengage for their two self-peel slow 80 carries.
Yeah, I think it's going to, once again, the way this meta is setting up, it's all about that early bot lane control. And while Gangplank, it looks at the moment, doesn't have teleport, is going with the Ignite against the Jax, is going to have ultimate if gets to level 6 in time for the first dragon. So the global impact of the ult could also then interrupt how things go in the bottom half of the map. We'll see how the teams want to play around it, but I think we're going to be in for a pretty exciting game one here. Pretty pumped to see champions played it up. Their Gangplank changes the teleport.
There it goes. I think you kind of have to take that as Gangplank, especially in this matchup. You don't want to be left against a teleport Jax. And that is the Lucian mid, so that means we're going to see the Ezreal bot lane.
Now, Ezreal takes a little while to scale up compared to after this preseason. I haven't seen a whole lot of him.
Right, I actually would have thought that you'd want to keep the Lucian in the bot lane, and that way you have that Lucian actually start doing work at level 2 or level 3. As it is, you wind up with an Ezreal Alistar, and that means Alistar gets the opportunity to go in, and then, well, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Of course, Ezreal's not going to have a lot of pressure until he gets his items.
Now, do you think it's just Lucian has to have more wave clear against the Mordekaiser than the Ezreal? Like, are you trying to maybe set up for Ezreal to try and 2v1 and have Alistar roam? Because he's got a little bit further range with the poke.
He does. Of course, you could always just leave Alistar on headbutt duty.
Yeah.
How hard is it to kill an Ezreal who always holds his E and has an Alistar standing in front of him?
Pretty much impossible. I mean, Zac coming in, as soon as Zac comes in, he's just, bop, you're gone. So, unless there's a Ash Arrow into bullet time into Zac, right? Like, there's not a... The engage is very
like you were
situational.
Right. Looks like you were right. They were pulling out Misfortune support on Hussey.
Lucked out here. So we're going to about to go into the 3-minute spectator delay. So pretty glad we get to see some new champions. Mordekaiser in the mid lane. I think this is the first Jax game we've seen in the season, and I think the first Gangplank game as well. I can't say for all of the games, but I think we've seen the other ones. First Lucian for sure in the mid lane.
Do we have a bot that keeps track of plays by champion?
No, we do not have a bot.
That might be an interesting statistic to keep.
There is a full records. If you go to the CasualEAL website and go to standings, at the very top there's a link for records of games. If you click it, it brings up all of the records and who played what champion in an Excel spreadsheet.
Oh, so you can just pivot that around and make your own little chart.
Yes. Good luck with that, because part of the problem with Riot's API, they changed. You have to manually identify in the custom games, so it doesn't automatically link IDs, like player IDs, to champions, anything in customs anymore. So you have to manually pull up that information and manually match everything, and that's why we have to do it the way that we do on the website with the matching of the names and that's how it gets put into Excel sheets. And this is why occasionally there are some errors on the back ends that we have to manually fix, and Ansem does a pretty good job of getting those fixed and updated in a timely manner when they occur. A little see behind the curtain there for all the viewers on how we try to keep everything updated. We've expanded, obviously. We've casted every night for a straight week. Monte Carlo, I think this is your second match you've casted?
Second, yeah. First was on Monday.
First was on Monday, and this is the third time I've been the stream hoster. First time I actually got to be on the mic, where I kind of prefer, but at the same time fully understand that we want to let as many people as we can get the opportunity to enjoy the casting.
Hey, I will always let somebody else do the play-by-play. I don't talk fast enough for that.
You will, hopefully we'll get some great play-by-play action, coming out, some good team fights, and some interesting strategies. Do you see either team doing an invade, speaking of entry strategies at level 1?
So I believe against your, because I watched, I casted Gold Salamanders, like I said, on Monday, and both times they arrayed themselves. They lined up and they held the line at the river. They didn't do anything that would look particularly aggressive. But in these cases, I don't think that they're going to want to. Gangplank's not all that useful level 1. Zac's not that useful level 1. Mordekaiser's going to whack you. Ash will slow you. Misfortune will probably slow you. So that would be their only real in, I would guess.
How about SEAL Team 6?
CT6. Well, you got a couple 80 carries and a support that doesn't come online until level 2. Yeah, and 80 Jungle doesn't come online until level 2. So I'm going to guess both of these teams line up and just play the gentleman's game on either side of the river.
Okay, you're boring me. I wanted to see some action going into level 1, but apparently that's just
these comps.
Apparently it's just my team that's like, let's get it on, as we have the excellent cutscene that I just completely talked over going into here, so we can show everyone the masteries here. Maybe. There they are. Anything sticking out to you mastery-wise? I think We got Grasp.
To conquer Ezreal, I've heard of this. Still don't know what Ezreal takes. I'm not a fan of this game. If it's the one thing that it doesn't need more of, it's RNG. So you'll never see me take that. Other than that, it all looks kind of as expected. Looks like maybe a tank plank in the top lane instead of a conqueror. I think you can go either way on that, but I am not a Gangplank main, so it's entirely possible that he sticks with he's stick with the Grasp for the last
Gangplank definitely can.
5-6 patches.
Yeah, Gangplank taking Grasp, not a problem. You get the proc it with your Q all the time, so there shouldn't be any. I gotta fix
right, and it's proc as a melee hit from Gangplank's Q. Which is why he can get away with it.
Correct. Okay, so we are loading up. Looks like we will have an Ocean Drake coming out here in the first 5 minutes.
It looks like Jarvan was the first character to move.
Good. Excellent job. Excellent job. So, coming out on the side of Gold Salamanders, we have Fat Honey Badger on the Pool Party Gangplank, Daco Triller on the Pool Party Zac, the Epi Champion on Mordekaiser. You don't have a Pool Party skin. Vux on the Ashe, AD Carry, Hussey on the Pool Party Misfortune. Seems like they're having a party, Monte Carlo. Wonder what type of party it is.
Kind of wondering. I was looking at the Alistar and company down here. I was wondering if they were going to try and get a deep ward in on the Golden Salamanders. It doesn't look like it though. Looks like they just walked in and walked away.
Jax is going to be playing the hockey stick game for Boosie Boy in the top lane. Sharona is on the jungle Jarvan. This is all for CEAL Team 6. Deft 1 on mid lane Lucian. Skippy for you is on the Ezreal AD Carry. And Thyme Burglar on the
Alistar.
I was letting the quote from the champion say all the goodies, so I didn't have to. And direct to cam, we're just gonna follow the junglers.
Yeah, I really would have liked them to go in and try to get a deep ward down because Zac has a couple of options on where he can start. And the more you know about where looks like Sharona is going down bot lane, but I think he is spotted on a ward in Tribrush.
He was.
And he's placing his own, and he's a little bit behind enemy lines now, but it looks like he's going to get out just fine. Jax is really feeling the heat from that Grasp Gangplank. Pew, 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 pew.
Oof. Jarvan literally just ran straight up the middle to his own red buff, so very interesting pathing.
That's right. I don't think they know where Zac is at the moment.
I don't think so either. It was odd because they went by. They didn't get a deep ward on the Krugs, but they know he didn't do the Wraiths because Jarvan ran right by them. So, and now Jarvan
went for the 2 buff.
Jack's gonna just walk in and see Orange on the side and Flash on the side of the Gangplank here. Able to escape that one and get a grass proc on the way out. Bud has used all of his corrupting pots. Do you see a return gank here? Hopefully. Maybe?
I'd like to see him try. I don't know if he knows that the bush is warded, but it is warded, so if he does return, he'll be seen pretty easily.
Jarvan's still level 2. Zac has gone for like a full clear here, getting his blue buff.
It tends to be my path on Zac as well. I prefer to have level 4 before I gank you. Having the extra range on your E is just critical.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, getting hooked under tower is never a good thing.
He's gonna have to flash out, and there's the ignite. We'll see if the Epi Champion can get first blood. Can. Lucian able, though, to finish that up. So Flash is blown by, you know, Sharona and the Epi Champion. But First Blood, probably worth it. And you do hand the buffs back over to the Lucian, though, in the mid lane, who's going to probably push that wave in and then make it back. But good job on the gank there. Are you talking?
Looks like Zach his first. And he's just going to go right back down to Krugs and start it over again. Kind of surprised with this action in the bot
Ignite
lane.
down in the bot lane. Flash forward as Axe get one more auto attacker. The Ignite finish, auto finishes actually onto the Ezreal. Vux and Hussey coming out for the win as Steinberger not enough able to CC. Zach's going to be able to jump in here with the Q. Slams together with the minion Ashe. Now going to slow this champion down. Not enough mana. Flash coming out. Finally onto Alistar. So all the summoners blown on the side for SEAL Team 6 here in the bot lane. Vox has burnt Flash. Hussey's burnt Ignite. As we are like 5 minutes in, and we already got 3 kills. Jax actually come back here. Let's see if he puts Zach into the bottom forms. Heals now come out for Ashe, making that Zach run away quickly. Holy moly. Monte Carlo, if you were talking, I cannot hear you.
No, not yet.
You're just stunned into silence by all the action.
Here. So far, no pink wards down on the map. That's what. Oh, there it is. There's our first pink ward. Tri-brush, bot side. Looks like there's also a symmetric one top side red. So first backs, bring pink wards.
That has happened. So Jarvan has gone with the gank heavy style and not been very successful.
But he's not being punished for it either. He is still a level 4, the same as the Zac. That never seems to work out for me. If I go gank heavy Jarvan, I'm always 2 levels behind the enemy jungler.
Definitely see how that goes. Maybe we'll catch up to him here in just a little bit. As Alistar clears out the pink ward, as we do see that Ocean Drake as the first one, as the top laners here, almost 6, as we have a 40-22 CS lead for the Gangplank.
Yeah, life's rough when you just get queued like that, and Gang seems to be being punished for in top once. And in fact, he's visited all 3 lanes now. But it's not been enough to deter Gangplank. And unfortunately for Jax, every time he walks up and tries to get those oranges down, or that stun down, Gangplank can just walk away.
Yeah, well, he's oranged the...
He oranged the first stun there.
Yeah, but the EQ, he had to step aside, and as a result of stepping aside, hands over the kill to the Jax. So Jax will be able to get some time with some CS. Yeah, doing some invade. Lucian doing a good job sidestepping everything that the throws out. As Ashe throws out a hawkshot, trying to find the Jarvan. Where's he at? As Jungler's just back to the CS game.
Looks like both teams are doing a reasonably good job of keeping vision down in the rivers. Got the critical things warded.
Oh, there's the ult from Mordekaiser. Lucian was able to get close enough to the tower, though, that it's not going to follow. Zach's actually going to come in right on top, make sure that there was no engage coming out from the Jarvan coming out of the ult there.
Unfortunate, little bit of a wasted opportunity.
Well, that's the problem with Mordekaiser in the short lane, right? The ultimate does have such a wide range of the circle that...
Right, you just walk under turret.
Yeah, and Mordekaiser's not going to follow in that aspect. But Lucian not using his dash to make sure he doesn't get pulled in. We've seen Mordekaiser land a few E's on a kind of a mobile, AD carry.
Yeah, I think no matter who you're sending mid, you're always gonna save your E for his E. Pings down on Sharona as he tries to invade the bot side. They know where Zach is.
They know he's there. They pinged him. Oh, he's pinging into the bot lane, but they have vision as he's going to fully engage here in onto the Ashe, who does not have flash, but uses heal and ult to get in onto, make sure this stays there. Not enough damage coming out from the 280 carries here in the bot lane as Ignite was dropped. Hussey, not level 6 to try and learn on. And Fat Honey Badger is actually going to die in the top lane. The Busey Boy who flashed in on top of him. So while the fight action happening down here, that Jax getting that first kill was able to get him to a spot where he could get in on the second kill. He probably used the Phage for the speed up. The Sheen, not enough. Didn't let the poke get to him. That has to be what happened in the top lane, right?
Yeah, you can always tell a top laner is very comfortable playing. If you put in kind of an inexperienced top laner there, they will just get poked down, and they'll never have an opportunity to take that engage. So far, no focus being put on either of the objectives, the Rift Herald or the Dragon. Of those two, the Dragon looks to be warded, but the Golden Salamanders have it locked down with a pink ward. So, in spite of the ward, the SEAL Team 6 have to actually know what's happening there.
Yeah, sorry, trying to adjust some of the audio quality here. Is it may be the Discord, but you keep cutting in and out, so I'm only getting half of what you're saying there.
All right, let me try some mic adjusts.
Yeah, I don't know if it's on my end or your end, but I was trying to adjust some stuff on my end. So apologize for the stream aspect of that on everyone. But
well, continue
with what you were saying.
I was talking about vision down on the objectives. So far, not a lot of motion towards either one of them, although something may be brewing here in mid lane that could lead to Lucian's playing too safe.
Pretty easy to get access to. Lucian is in this mid lane once again safe, as Mordekaiser's actually done a fairly good job getting CS here into a ranged matchup. While Alright,
he is leading by 8.
Yeah. Now, SEAL Team 6, with the 4, the 2, and kills, is actually leading in the gold aspect of it. Uh-oh. Lucian dashed in. Mordekaiser taking him to the Shadow Realm as he's going to flash in. We'll see if definitely does some dodge, but there is all the excess damage coming out as Mordekaiser just stalks his prey, comes back out, slams the mace on the ground, and this lane is now going to be full charge by the... Zach's actually going to get headbutted into the wall. Ashiel comes out onto the Ezreal. Make it rain, and the bullet time coming out as flash over by Jarvan. Bounce around by Zach happening, coming out as they're trapped in the Cataclysms. Golden Blob Boy coming out, flashing in, trying to kill off the Alistar, who's in his ultimate, taking reduced damage. Jarvan's going to be able to try. Zach's going to try and blast up, but Jarvan flag and drags back in, trying to get a knock. Not going to happen here, as that's finally going to be the end of that action, because only Sharona's the only one with health. Everyone else left without anything. Monte Carlo, we had our first real, like, more than 2v2 fight.
I was kind of wondering if Einbergler there got stuck in the Cataclysm. He kind of got bounced around by Zach, and it almost looked like he couldn't get out of the side of it. I couldn't tell whether he was trapped inside or not.
No, I couldn't see as well, so...
Seems like minion block and getting stuck in walls has been gotten worse and worse these last several patches. I like the kind of deep vision that SEAL Team 6 has been placing inside of Golden Salamander's jungle. This is the second buff in a row that Zach has taken that they've seen him on because of a yellow trinket sitting right next to it. So Sharona doing a really good job of tracking the enemy jungler.
Yeah, as the German is actually now, they're pretty much equal in ganks, but... You know, Jarvan is getting more ganks off, actually, and the more CS, and the higher level, as Zach has just been kind of slow to everything. I don't know if that's communication on his part, or the team's part on when and where he's supposed to be.
And still no motion towards any of these objectives. It's interesting, even knowing where Zach is, that still hasn't let SEAL Team 6 take advantage of an objective on the other side of the map. And that may just be because Jarvan's trying to shadow more than trying to
Could be. It's also interesting that we are 14 minutes into a game and we've yet to see anyone even try and take the dragon. So that's odd.
agree.
Mainly because that's all I've seen people do is try and fight the dragon. Although neither one of these, I mean, Jarvan can solo dragon, but it's an ocean drake. That slow is actually really strong early levels.
Yeah, it also has the highest base AD of any of the dragons, so it does the most damage.
As another coming out, and they're going to jump in onto the Misfortune with no ult. Gangplank comes out as well to try and get some slow down the follow-up onto the Ashe. Not going to happen, as Jarvan is now starting to impose his will down here on the bot lane.
I wonder if this is where we get this dragon taken.
Maybe. Gangplank ultimate was used, so there's not going to be that engage.
They've got mid priority, and they've got 3 on that side to the opposing team's 1. So I'd like to see them make a play for, and they will start it.
Yeah, Zach's going to try and come over here. Mordekaiser can't reach it. Should have gone for the E. Not going to happen. So Ocean Drake over to SEAL Team 6. The gold lead, though, is only like at half a K. Very close matchup here. As the top and mid laners are up in the CS, but the bottom lane, the Ezreal is actually farming extremely well. 119 to 85.
Another thing I was noticing right before the dragon fight is the lack of plates that were maybe across the entire game. There were both teams. There were maybe 4, maybe 5 plates that had been taken across all of for those 6 turrets. So these lanes have been sitting very, very evenly.
Yeah, so as we kind of get into the next phase here, the next dragon is going to be Mountain in 4 minutes. Rift Herald has been an option, but these top laners have just been kind of duking it out with Busey Boy getting the slight advantage in the kills department here. Do you think that Jarvan can maybe get some pressure here and take that objective as well?
I think he doesn't need to get any more pressure up here. I think Busey Boy has the lane reasonably well covered. Jarvan could, if he knows that he's not being watched, simply take it.
Here comes Alistar up towards the top half of the map, as Jack simply just used ultimate in that engage. Maybe a slight miscommunication on whether or not Jarvan was coming up.
Jarvan or Alistar.
Yeah. Ezreal down here in the bot lane trying to just hold off the 1v2, as Mordekaiser now going to go with Zach, trying to look for someone. Not going to spot out Alistar, though, with the vision plant, just the vision.
Ooh, this is the art of the not fight right here.
Yeah.
I thought something was going to be brewing, but
onto Alistar. Can he pull back
both
under
teams
tower?
just
Not
walked
gonna
their own way.
Jarvan's going to EQ on the Zach. Nothing happened. Jackson walked down here. Gangplank ulting, preventing any... Why would you tower dive a Mordekaiser? No reason whatsoever.
No reason.
Gangplank ult was like, hey, if you had like a 5% chance
Now
of doing
you wind
it...
up with an Alistar. you predicted reasonably well the Alistar running around and doing a lot of roaming, leaving the Ezreal down alone in the bot lane, and that's kind of what we started seeing happen just now, is Alistar exerting pressure on the rest of the map, which I think he's free enough to do because these lanes have gone so evenly. He waited until after the plates fell, and so there wasn't a risk of the enemy bot lane kind of farming up some extra gold. And he's also giving his AD carry, who's been farming very well, an EXP lead on the...
Yeah, the EXP is going to lead. So I'm going to, interrupt you here real quick. We're going to apologize to the viewers right now. We may have to make an announcement on the skin, the project skin Ezreal The bug has come out yet again where you cannot see any of his projectiles as Zach's going to engage down on here, flashing out. There's a flash out from Zach. Make it bounce is actually going to push him out of the arrows. Flag and Drag coming out from the Jarvan here is going to be able to take out the Misfortune. That's going to happen as Q comes out and Lux finishes off. Ezreal's going to E back and take that one down as Jax and whatever his name is. Gangplank, dude, you got a spatula in the bot lane. Zach's going to try and get headbutted out by the Alistar. Now going to go to Bloblet form. We'll see if we can actually kill the Bloblets. Gangplank teleport, save his life. Ooh, not gonna happen. One more. He's gonna E in, and he's gonna maybe get hooked, pull in by Mordekaiser now as the down comes the mace. Lucian is here. It looks like Alistar's been taken to the death realm. He'll be able to get all of this flash out. It's gonna happen. And one more, and this finishes up. There's a shield, and one more auto attack as Mordekaiser finishes off. Not enough. Death's gonna take down that champion. It's the top laners are still duking it out up here. Was that fast enough for you?
Faster than I could have done. So we have both top laners now having completed their Triforce, and their Ninja still holding on to their corrupting pots, and so we're kind of dead even top in terms of item build.
So
30 extra CS to Jax's 2 kills.
Right as I was starting that, sorry, the Ezreal skin, the whatever skin this is, I can't
Pulsefire.
Pulsefire Ezreal skin has the bug again, so I apologize to the viewers. We're not going to be seeing any of his abilities, so I have no idea when he Qs, I have no idea when he ults. I just know when he E's, when he jumps around.
You know, I thought Draven not too long ago, and I think it was the base Draven skin where all of his projectiles were invisible. It's the most frustrating thing to play against. Is this bug confined to the Spectate client, or does this exist in game as well?
Spectate client. From my understanding, it's Spectate client. So I'm pretty sure I will put a note into the tribunal and see if we want to ban it for future casted games. How about that? So. Keep talking here. I'm making a note here. Sorry.
Couple of pings coming down. The vision as we've gotten deeper and deeper into this game has started to blur, where we've got SEAL Team 6 continuing to keep it's come back a little bit from inside of the opposing jungle, and then Golden Salamanders finally started to get some deep wards down to figure out where this Jarvan is going to be. He's more than a headache, I'm sure. So I'm sure that anything that takes some vision down, I'm sure welcome.
Yeah, well, Daco Triller tried to start the dragon by himself, and Alistar just runs up, places the ward, and then kills the blue ward there. As he's going to get slammed in the dragon, Alistar's going to engage in here onto the Mordekaiser. Nice flag and drag. Mordekaiser's just getting CC. He's not being able to get his ult off. He's taking someone. We can't tell who it is. There's an ult from gameplay coming out. Steinblinger's actually taken down the Mordekaiser in his ult. It had to have been as all the red team is here to finish off the dragon. Gangplank didn't come down. Jax, I think, teleported for that. He did teleport. So 2 dragons now over the SEAL Team 6. Just the better all in together.
SEAL Team's the game, and this is in
First tower goes over to SEAL Team 6 as well.
That is a 23-minute first tower.
Yeah, that's pretty late, as Gangplank's going to be able to get his own tower up here in response, but Lucian, Jax, they're going to mow through a tier 2 in mid lane. So
right, there was nobody to cover that.
Quick succession. Mordekaiser and Zach just with no bloblets, kind of the low end there. Mordekaiser had all of his buddies showing up to help. Poor Zach didn't. As Mordekaiser's actually gone for the Proto Belt and the Liandry's, or not the Liandry's, the Rylai's, so he wants to engage and get the slows off at the same time. Interesting that he hasn't gone for, you know, any pen.
Ezreal now has 2 items complete, his Muramana and his Iceborne Gauntlet, so we can maybe look to see him doing a little bit better in that 1v2 if Alistar wants to continue roaming around. It looks like they've moved him aside and they're pushing, or they're giving Jax the solo lane bot side against Vux and Hussey.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how good Jax can hold the 2v2, not as good, or the 1v2, not as good as the Gangplank Hank, but Gangplank's got all of his buddies up here as well. We may see a 2v2 fight as the bot lane tower does drop down. Nothing? Anything? I just hear potions.
You have to think that CEAL Team at 6 anticipated that they were going to lose that tower. They just wanted to move their strong laners up to the top side to be near.
Yeah, definitely get the full team up here. Take down that last outer tower as a large group here. Is Mordekaiser's maybe going to try and stick this one out here as Gangplank's going to help, fight them off. There's an ult somewhere. As the Gangplank ult, I think, was dropped in the bot lane, but Jack's still able to, Wayne Gretzky his way through the tower. I don't know a lot of hockey players, so that's who you get.
That's the one I know too.
Arvin engages here in onto the Mordekaiser. An Ash Arrow comes out, so when they come out of the Death Room, we'll see what happens here. Zach's not going to engage. Flag and Drag, Cow jumps in with the headbutt and starts. Misfortune gets a great bolt time off, but Zach's actually the split the middle a little bit here. Ash coming in, had the long range arrow to help start off this fight. Is they're going to continue laying down the CC? Can they keep down the slows? Here's Ezreal's going to jump away, and more making it rain happens. The Bloblets are going to get separated. Alistar's goes down to a volley here from Ash. We're going to see coming out, and there's the Ignite. Flag not going to happen. And Zach jumps in yet again, coming out of Blob before. Here comes Lucian. Let's see if he goes for the cleanup and gets a pick off someone. Here he goes in onto the Zach. Misfortune is here to help return the damage to push him on off, while the top laners are waving at each other here in bot lane.
On you and a couple of AD carries slowing constantly. And even if you kill Zach, he's still just going to drop into Bloblets, regain a bunch of health, and jump back on you again. That's really how they managed to push down that top lane as effectively as they did, was just some relentless pursuit by Dako, Vux, and Hossie.
And I think that's sort of how the team fights are going to play out, aren't they, for the rest of the game? Sort of like who engages and then who can counter-engage.
Yeah, as I mentioned at the beginning of the game, I wouldn't be surprised, and I would really like to see a 1-3-1 set up by the Golden Salamanders. I think they have a wonderful triplet to hang together in mid lane, and 2 very strong juggernauts that could take a side very easily.
Yes, we do see completed 2 items here coming out for a lot of the players. We have the Sterix Gauge and Triforce for Gangplank, the Warmogs, and the completed jungle item for the Zac. Ash has finished the Blade of the Rune King, hasn't quite finished another item, went with a BF Sword and a Zeal. Misfortune has gone for the Luden's... Really? She went Luden's Echo? Okay.
Yeah, she wants the CDR and the mana so she can keep making it rain.
That's fine. Jarvan going for the Black Cleaver Warrior builds. Come interesting. We haven't had a touch on that build yet. Where the as you touched on Ezreal's items, Alistar got the tank going on, and the Lucian with the Blade of the Rune King himself and the Essence Reaver. So as we're looking at to get into the next dragon here, it is up. Who has the advantage coming in this next team fight?
I mean, it looks like very much like Golden Salamanders has the positioning advantage, and they're going to have the vision as they finish clearing all these wards. It's going to be up to SEAL Team 6 to successfully engage on these guys, but that's really hard when you're trying to jump into a Mordekaiser. He's just going to pick, somebody with your Ezreal or your Jax and just make him disappear. Or you take the Alistar, make him disappear, and then make somebody else.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who we see. The problem with the Ezreals coming out, as Lucian's the one making sure that the wave stays pushed, but he can't go too far because there's not another tower for Golden Salamanders to fall back to, as both mid lane towers are gone, all the outers are gone. just the tier 2 in mid as Dragon gets started, I think for the 3rd time here. Ash arrows. A Flagon Drag comes in, does get a knock up onto Zach, but it's not a full, as we have a full start up here. Mordekaiser coming in for the back side. Here's the Making Rain comes over. The thing is, Zach is jumping around. I don't know, someone got pulled into the Death Throne. Dragon is still up and run. Gangplank does come out. Lucian is getting off the free fire in the backline onto Zach. He's really final one the trap. As Jarvan ult comes up, but Cataclysm not giving enough as there's the golden dead man coming out, and there's Ash with the volleys coming out, and the Making It Rain. It's everything just happening quickly as the 80 carries are the only ones left alive, plus Gangplank and his golden spatula. No jungler, but a 3v2. Ezreal tries to lay out some poke. The tanks did their tanking, and the more damage in the fact that Mordekaiser won in the Death Realm meant a win for the Golden Salamanders, and their prize is the Dragon.
It's good to see, you know, they're taking, finally, getting the opportunity to take a Dragon. I think they really like that, like having that on their side a lot. I mean, neither team is going to say no to an Infernal Drake at this stage of the game, but I really enjoy seeing a more even split of Dragons.
So, I was trying to play both sides of the fight there at the same time. Did you see who Mordekaiser actually ended up taking? Because the Cataclysm came out, and he proto-belted to get the kill.
I did not see who he took to the Death Realm.
Okay. That's... I mean, it's spectator mode. We can't ask for everything. But instead of making them gray, maybe, like, highlight their character or something. Send spectator mode to see who's better. Or, too bad we don't have Riot's 15 people running cameras where we can see every spectator point of view and have a little picture-in-picture.
I think it'd be easy enough to put some sort of icon above his head. That would have been helpful.
Yeah.
One day.
Too much abilities in CC coming out. But the push in is in favor right now of the SEAL Team 6. So after the team fight, they still have the advantage in trying to get these lanes pushing in their favor.
Ezreal Arwood out. We're still not sure where. Wonder if you put that mid lane.
Maybe. Oh, as Jarvan went in, and it looks like Ash returned with the ult, and Zach's going to jump in here and block the rest of the damage. Flash and heal out on the side of Ash, flash on the side of Misfortune, so great engage from Jarvan. Did have to flash out himself, but I'll trade the Jarvan flash for both the 80 carry flashes. Or, I guess.
It's good to see the team respond to this. We have the Ezreal and Alistar sitting up in the top lane, just myrtleizing the turret. There's not a lot Mordekaiser's going to be able to do against the Ezreal, who's just sitting there and pummeling his turret.
Yeah, well, they chased the Ezreal and Alistar all the way back out of the lane.
Salamander's wrecking up the
They look in the tower dive with, I mean, Jax is not the tankiest. Neither is Jarvan. Both of them have got kind of offensive builds here. They haven't got to any off-tank items yet. I mean, their off-tanks, I guess, are... Is Black Lever an off-tank item? I don't know. They go in onto Misfortune, who stepped too far away from the tower. There's the teleport in and on the Jarvan's flag. Mordekaiser has taken down one, is going to be able to finish this one here. As Protobel's forward onto Lucian, takes him out with the Ignite. Double kill, actually, on the side of Gangplank, as whoever teleported to the... Did Jax... I think Jax misclicked and teleported to Jarvan's flag in that team fight.
Yeah. I didn't figure out what he was teleporting to, but that is an unfortunate flash teleport.
Yeah.
You have to assume that he was trying to flash somewhere and you know, swapped his DNF keys and wound up teleporting to the Jarvan flag and then being stuck in that animation while the team fight went on around you. That was an unfortunate.
Alistar gonna headbutt and pulverize here. Mordekaiser, who was trying to get some tier 2 damage on Ezreal coming in over the wall. Blast coming away, not as helpful when there's the Fire Drake because, well, the wall is no longer there. As he's going to try and go in, actually activates the blue buff that was right there. Escaping for you is like, I don't want to hit you. I want to hit the giant armor man.
But since I can't have him, I'm an Ezreal, so I'll take a blue buff instead.
Yeah, well, sometimes even the blind squirrel finds a golden nut.
Calling Ezreal a blind squirrel?
No, I was trying to make a joke about how they're the golden salamanders. He didn't find a gold salamander. He found
A golden salamander.
a blue rock. I don't know. I not freak. I don't spend all week trying to think of the jokes. They come to me as I say it. So, we are
Taking a quick...
take 33 minutes. Go, as we say, look at what do we got coming here.
I'm looking at vision, and I'm looking at who controls the vision, and that is most definitely SEAL Team 6. I'm counting a lot of pinks, I'm counting a lot of yellow trinkets down, and if I turn on the vision view to look at Golden Salamanders, their map is awfully dark. They've got to be afraid no matter where they're walking. Probably a Jarvan in that book.
Yeah, and especially because the dragon has been started, and Jax is now on the split push without teleport.
Right, with this mistaken teleport from earlier.
Oh, do they know, and will they start it?
I have to think favors the SEAL Team 6 for now because Ezreal has such a great opportunity to just sit and poke.
Zach's going to jump in and onto the Alistar, and the Ashe Arrow is going to hit the same champion, and it looks like, why are you just pounding everything away in onto the tanky support? He's doing his job, his best. Steinbergler trying to escape, not going to happen, but we're going to quick jump over to Busey Boy on the Jax, and thwack, thwack, thwack onto that tower, as now the AD carries in the Jarvan. Gangplank is backing here as Cataclysm comes out and actually helps take down the Ashe. So no Ashe for this, but her CC is done. We'll see which jungler is going to be able to get the smite here. Jarvan's going to flag Dragon, and actually going to get the Dragon as Misfortune comes over the wall. The Mordekaiser ult comes out, and it looks like he has depth here in there. He's going to Protoball forward and miss the Q here. Zach Lava comes out and finally takes down the Q. Mordekaiser actually finishes it off as the fat Honey Badger is actually going to drop Busey Boy here in the jungle as another pull through, an epic kill coming out, and it looks like Jarvan, Flag Dragon, and Ezreal finish that one out. Misfortune walks away with her life as Fat Honey Badger rugs back out, but the damage is done. The inhibitor is gone. The dragon is gone, and SEAL Team 6, even though they're down 18-16, now have a 1.5k gold lead and one more dragon for the fourth.
SEAL Team 6 played that very, very, very well. They were dancing around the dragon. They sacrificed the Alistar. They set him out as a big fat hunk of cow bait, and they let Busey Boy just do. The Golden Salamanders had to respond to Busey Boy, and they did. Fat Honey Badger TP'd in, and that finally signaged that the dragon, which let Sharona really pop over the wall very excellently to swipe their third dragon of the game.
So we're 30.
That was just some clean macro.
Yeah, 37 minutes here, and no one has even sniffed Baron's stinky carcass in the river here. And do you fight over the next objective, or you just let Busey Boy go back? So never mind. Jarvan's Flagon Dragon onto the Ashe. It's like, I want that 80 carry. She's the champion I need in my life. As now Zach's going to try and make it rain. Actually going to pop it out, and ult from the Gangplank takes down the Jarvan. He jumped in too far, but Jax is on a mission, skating his way down the bot lane.
With the jungler dead, it looks like they were going to start it, and then quickly decided that they actually can't let Busey Boy take another turret from them. It was kind of an agreement to get back from the base. They had very, very, very poor numbers game there, and I was kind of surprised to see Sharona go in.
Sharona's been on a mission to go in. I don't think he doesn't know, like, hey, wait, like, 2 seconds in this match.
When your name is Jarvan, that's all you know how to do.
I mean, do you think he just has, like, Demacia, like, you know how people play with sticky notes on their screens? He just has, like, his mini-map.
Got it tattooed on his chest.
Oh, I was going to say it's on a sticky note covering up his mini-maps, so he doesn't know what his teammates is. It just says Demacia.
Demacia. Valor and aggression.
So
we have
Dragon in 2 minutes. I don't even think they're going to play around Baron. I think they're just going to
might have improved for that. Yeah, if I'm SEAL Team 6, I'm going to look towards Baron. They have so much control over both the top side jungle and the Baron pit. All you have to really do is leave Jack's bot lane. He has teleport. I don't know if they know what Gangplank's teleport timer is or not, but if my Jax has teleport, I'm going to leave him in bot lane, and I'm going to do this right here. I'm going to make a play for... We've got 280 carries. This goes down fast.
Yeah, and the tank here, Jarvan finally...
Honey Badgers are responding.
Yep. We'll see here, Zach's going to just sort of walk up. Huskigus, Ash Arrow comes out, does land onto the Lucian, and there's the Flag Drag coming out onto the Ash. No, it's Fat Honey Badger is actually going to finish out with the ultimate. Epic Champion takes down the Thymbergler, flashes in onto the Ezreal as Lucian's going to blast cone his way out of here. Not going to be able to chase it down. Oh, does pop the GA here. We will see if the combined CC is... Hussey's going to try and fight this 1v1. Realizes you are a support that's built AP. You deal no damage. As Zach's going to come out, dash out. One Q does not land. Another Q coming out from Hussey is not going to finish it up. And there's the Vision coming out. Mordekaiser's going to try and walk his way up here as the 80 carries are going to duke it out. Mordekaiser's like, I do not care that you have guns. I have the world's best weapon in the mace. He's going to fight now. BZ Boy somehow apparently is teleported up for this fight. And now he's gone into the death realm with the Mordekaiser, who's got golden. Jack's coming out with the spin and the hockey stick's going to get the stun off in his stuff. And the Eve does not come out in time for Mordekaiser for the CC. And down he goes. The man with no weapon has taken in charge of control of this game.
It was really quite a disaster. Team 6's position, and I thought they had the upper hand there. And the way the fights just shook out, that was theirs to lose, and they lost it.
While everyone's respawning here in 40 to 20 seconds, Final Infernal Drake is coming up.
And we just heard the dragon spawn, so that isn't
There's the prize.
going to be in the mid lane, locating Jax, locating the waves. Both teams seem to be understanding which side or where things are pushing and what they're going to have to respond to mid before they move.
As now the Vision comes out, does Zach have his passive up? He does, so he will be going Bloblet form if he dies anytime soon.
Zach does have pass.
Yeah, Zach's 15. Jarvan is 16. We got 18s on the solo laners. 80 carries are 17 and 16. Only Thymbergler is level 13. Somehow the roaming Alistar roamed a little bit too much in the mid game, I guess, and lost out on some experience. We'll see if that makes any difference because he won't have level 3 ult. As nice headbutt comes out as the stuns are going to come out as Ezreal come out and can't see what's going on as the jump around and down goes Jax. He's been the one carrying off the split type as it looks like we're going to have Fat Honey Badger chasing off the Lucian in the top side here as the rest of Sharona. We're going to see if he's going to flag a drag over the wall to go for the steal. He's going to come in and does not get it. And he's put himself in a hard space and Mordekaiser control this, but he's going to put it into the Cataclysm. We'll see if he takes him to his own death realm. Yes, he does before the Alistar gets off any CC. He's going to come out of it with all the extra damage. Ezreal's going to jump over the wall, but we're going to have Lucian here pushing into the mid lane. We'll see how much damage he can get onto this tower. Teleports coming out from the Gangplank to keep him off this. Monte Carlo, this is an epic game 1 for week 2.
Yeah, 41 minutes. What's our kill total sitting at here? 35? 45? 45 kills in a 42-minute game, about a kill a minute. We've got 2 dragons on the side of Golden Salamanders and 3 on the side of CEAL Team 6.
Hey, someone hit the Baron. As
Right, they finally got to it. Golden Salamanders have 3 on the Baron now with a couple of CEAL Team 6.
As Mordekaiser has actually reached full build and decided to go. Oh my gosh, the barrels on top of Skippy for you nearly takes his life.
Never has a watermelon hit that hard.
God. Gallagher. That's his name, right?
So after losing the dragon fight, the CEAL Team 6 wasn't quite fast enough getting back onto the map, and Golden Salamanders just took the opportunity to take that Baron. It's so sad to had no vision that it was CEAL Team 6's to take, and how quickly those tables have turned.
Yeah, as we see now, Jarvan's been sitting on just the his items here with the BF sword and the buying pink wards, so he hasn't been able to upgrade. But Everyone else, we're getting full build. We got full build on the Gangplank. We got a full build on the Mordekaiser. Almost a full build, just have to complete the QSS for the Lucian. Full build on the Ezreal. I mean, the supports are nearly full builds, right? I mean, Alistar can't get much more items because he has to leave spots for wards. Jax is using his last spot for
You have to keep that spot.
for wards at the moment. So, I mean, wards versus items, there's going to be very key, important purchases here coming towards the end of this game.
Golden Salamanders now trying to use that Baron and push down the mid lane.
Pretty decent job at doing
Team
so.
6. Yeah, we've been saying that both of these teams have 280 carries, but that's actually not quite true because, of course, Husky has built AP. They don't have the wave clear that the SEAL Team 6 does.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess okay. So
80 carry, I think Barrow will do.
What do you declare a misfortune? Like an AP caster? Is she a caster that auto attacks, range? I guess. I don't.
Yeah. At this point, she's almost a control mage.
Control mage. Okay, we'll go with the control mage as they trying to just hardcore push it up. They're not going with the 1-3-1 that you thought that they might have wanted to. As Ash Arrow's going to go in onto the Ezreal. Flag and Drag comes out from Jarvan to dissuade the engage.
It looks like they're one. And Jax looks like he's built himself to fight the Epi champion with his, especially with Death Dance and his Thornmail. But I'm not actually certain that as tanky as Jax is, he can stand up to a full build Gangplank barrel combo.
No, I think that's definitely the problem. Is Alistar's maybe trying to help some vision in the top side as Mordekaiser finally gets the push on here.
There it is. That's the 1-3-1.
And if the 1-3-1, that means Alistar, that's his go button. He flashes in. It looks like they're going to go for the Zac. In this instance, Misfortune's going to just lay the ultimate out, but that's not going to do enough. Is they're going to kill off the Zac, but Mordekaiser is pushing in. Let's see how much damage he can get onto this tower before he backs his way off.
Normally, your job is not to flash in
Ezreal.
on the owl or on the.
Oh, Ezreal, you got too far before your tank line. Mordekaiser's going to try and finish you off before the rest of everything happens. And there's the Mama Mortis is going to flash away from it. Goes golden. There's the damage. It's not going to happen. And Ash actually able to take out the mid lane tower in the return. Worth, but not worth because Dragon's
really
in
like
25 seconds.
On a Zac. But in this case, it allowed them to push the 2 off the mid lane, or the 3 off the mid lane, and then go respond to one of the side laners. Without that play, they probably would have suffered some losses in all 3 lanes.
Now, Dragon is starting up here. I mean, there's no jungler. I mean, Golden Salamander junglers just spawned.
This looks like it is the Infernal. Pretty easy take there. For as much as the last several objectives have been contested, or last several dragons, I guess. Have been
Yeah, well, all inhibitors are up. We're at 47 minutes. Baron's in a minute 25. The Elder Drakes now are going to be spawning here. There's no more Fire Drakes coming out as the teams have equaled on the Fire Drakes 2-2. Completed gold items. What is for either team, what is going to be the most important aspect of the next team fight?
I'm kind of worried about this Lucian alone in the bot lane. He's got a little bit of mobility to him, but Golden Salamanders have so much catch that I'm not sure Defs could get out if they decided to go kill him.
Yeah. Now Zac still has an item slot completely open at the moment. Jarvan protecting Lucian on the side. At what point do you start getting...
Both supports have... crossed the 100 vision score.
100 vision score. Congratulations to those supports. I mean, you have played for 48 minutes, but 2 points a minute for vision score is very, very good. compared to the 35 that the Epi champion has. No, not the point fingers. He has his own reasonings for not buying pink
I'm
wards.
actually
because
curious.
his item box has been full for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really surprised to see that they left Def down in the lane solo for some. If I'm a Lucian, I'm a little in range Zac and Gage. There's not a lot to do about it.
I mean, do you upgrade your boots? Do you sell them and build like something else? Do you go Phantom Dancer? Oh, as we're gonna fight here, as there's a jump in onto the Zac, but this may be the final team. Mordekaiser's come out. I miss Ash Arrow, missed Mim, F ult. Lucian hiding on a ward here in the backside as Mordekaiser actually taking it to the front. And down goes 1G as Zac's going to try and peel for that. Not going to happen as Mordekaiser has now gone golden. Definitely is going to throw out the ultimate coming out, and it looks like Mordekaiser is going to pop his shield as the gangplank ultimate comes out. But down goes the Mordekaiser. He's the first one. Def on the side doing as much destruction as possible. Does get killed. Flag and drag come back. And yet for Jax, jumps back in with the August spinning around. Skippy for you is taking down the Zac, and it looks like they are going to get 3 kills to 0. The Baron shall be theirs.
Nobody touched Def there. That entire fight on the flank, just poking at people.
Distracting just enough to let the re-engage in the CC to come through.
Do that, Dan. I really like what they're doing right here. They've got 4 people on the Baron, but they said, hey, Lucian, we don't need you. Go mid, be there with the wave, take Baron, take that mid turret.
And let's see here. Gangplank's not going to be able to persuade them. If he would have, Gangplank would have backed, I don't think Lucian would have gotten the inhibitor. Instead, just let them have the Baron, try and save whatever left you came to base. But this is the second time now that they've lost an inhibitor. They did an excellent job at defending their first inhibitor being down. Will they do so on this one? Spectator just...
A little bit of an interesting build here. Jarvan just picked up an Umbral Glaive. I would have thought with as aggressive as he is being, he would opt for something like a Stone Plate. But it looks like no, his vision score, or his own vision score, a little bit more than the survivability during the dive.
So, do you think he did this because that's how much gold he could have? He can buy a completed item for a final team fight?
It's quite a good point. I don't know the cost of Umbral Glaive off the top of my head, but I don't recall if he had components for it ahead.
He did not. He had a spot with pink wards in it.
Oh, here's the fight Jax wants.
Yeah. Jax wants this.
Or does he?
Yes? No? Maybe? No. Apparently he didn't. But
apparently he did not.
Team did get the inhibitor in top lane, so... Fair?
Oh, full armor. He has no magic resist.
Zac actually engages in. There's a Mordekaiser ult coming, or not ult, as there's a great cleanse coming out on the side of the Lucian there, as Jack's gone into Blabla form is going to happen. Mordekaiser's going to try and pull up. This Lucian is doing so much damage. The Ezreal and Lucian in the backline, as Mordekaiser is going to go down from the CC with the extra damage. Cataclysm comes out onto the backlines, and that goes happens. Misfortune is going to throw out the bullets as much as you can. That's not going to happen as Sharona and Alistar actually gets the final kill in onto the GP. Making it rain is not going to do anything to these minions here, and the 280 carries of Deft and Skippy for you come out of that fight basically full health and take their team for the victory. Congratulations to SEAL Team 6 on your first win of the season.
And 35 seconds on the timer.
First win of the game. Wow.
Final gold score of 92k to 88k.
Oh my. That was a... holy shit. So, 28 to 28 in kills. One game had 51 assists, the other one had 58 assists. Just look at some
quite
of this
respectable.
damage. Ezreal, 65,000 damage. Lucian, 46,000 damage. And not to be outdone, like the Misfortune, Mordekaiser, and Gangplank all did over 30,000 damage themselves. So there was definitely like a time where I think every champion in this game played really well. Every person did well at different parts of the game to help for their team success.
Incredible. I was really surprised there that Jax wound up going with the double armor item in the end, and I think that probably cost him. Had he picked up something like an adaptive helm so that he could fight either Gangplank or Mordekaiser, that fight might have gone very differently on the bot lane.
Yeah, but I think maybe his job was just to keep Mordekaiser there the best that he could. It's just the aspect. This was a really good game one. As we're just sort of reviewing any of the stats. Other than the damage, I mean, is there anything that like just sort of jumps out at you?
Let's go look at that final vision score.
Final vision score. Oh my gosh, 120 to 119 for the supports. That's just absolutely awesome.
Wow. How many wards is that placed?
Wards placed for Misfortune, 54, 53 for Alistar. Wards destroyed.
In a 50-minute game, we're dropping a ward a minute.
Yeah. So,
there's your target, everybody. 1 ward a minute. At least.
Ward a minute. So, okay, we're going to get ready for game 2 and send it to an intermission here. So, we'll be back in a minute.
Everybody take 5.
welcome back, everyone. We are going into game number 2 between SEAL Team 6 and the Golden Salamanders. They have swapped sides after an epic game 1, Monte Carlo. What do you
53 minutes.
What do you expect coming out here in this game 2 pick ban?
Well, it looks like so far it's a lot of the same. We had SEAL Team 6 ban away the Warbeck last time, and Golden Salamanders again going with the no more Nautilus in the bot lane set. Leona saying a lot of the same here. The last game was very close. All the way up until about 50 minutes, it was a pretty even back and forth. So it looks like both teams are pretty happy with what they drafted into the first game, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see a similar draft come back now. Although I am expecting a potential Ezreal ban.
See, there's the Ashe. If I was gonna ban, I think the Jarvan, just the hard engage that the Sharona gave, kind of encouraged the SEAL Team 6 to set up their team fights. But if they throwing 3 bans at Theinbergler, maybe they have a different aspect. That is the first pick Morgana, which was the one thing they didn't ban from game 1, where they banned instead of Ashe, they banned Morgana. So
this will be the first time I've seen a Morgana in game.
Yeah, basically whenever someone has a Morgana, they usually just get banned out because Morgana is annoying.
Right, she's no fun to deal with in the bot lane.
Yeah.
Looks like Golden Salamanders are hovering their same Zac pick, and they're going to lock that in. So jungler first for the Golden Salamanders.
And he was pretty successful in game 1. Like,
I thought so too.
Like he was a little bit slower to the action than Jarvan, but that's kind of Zac versus Jarvan, right? Like, there's not. If you have a Jarvan that's like farming instead of ganking, and Zac's ganking instead of farming, usually it's kind of weird. Oh no, is this the Kayle AD carry again?
This may well indeed be the Kayle AD carry again. Golden Salamanders locking in a Kayle. This is the second time this week that they have locked in a Kayle. The first time this week was earlier against the Dirty Cheese, where they played Kayle bot AD or with a Misfortune support. Misfortune is still on the table, so we could see that same lane here again.
Now, being the top laner in that game, I didn't get to see what in the world happened in our bot lane, other than Nautilus apparently just was in Hook City, and they have banned the Nautilus. How well?
They drafted it into a kill lane.
Yeah, so
it didn't work very well at all. They drafted a Kayle and a Misfortune into a kill lane.
It was it was Senna.
Senna Nautilus.
Yeah,
that's a lot of CC to have to put up with. What they did do was to give Kayle a support item and have Misfortune farm out the first 6 levels of that lane, and then swapped over to Kayle taking CS. So they gave her a soft entrance to the game to protect her from the being on the front line.
Well, this is a great lineup that SEAL Team 6 has brought up. They brought the Morgana already and the Poppy, so that between those 2 champions, they can kind of hard prevent the Zac engage. With the Caitlyn
You also have to deal now with a Caitlyn Morgana bot lane. Just in case you don't like moving, this is the lane to play against.
And Poppy was one of the better tanks into Ornn, because you can stop the Ornn charge with your circle shield. I misremember the name off the top of my head, but the circle that pops around her that stops all in movement. So Ornn, sometimes you can also prevent Ornn from getting his ult off with the same thing.
And I believe that also works on Ornn's second R cast as well.
Yes, the second R cast of not the first cast of the ultimate, the second cast of the ultimate. Yeah.
Right. So both the headbutt forward and the second R cast.
Yeah. So also interesting that last game the top laners went on kind of melee, split late game carries, and this time they're on tank duty. So very different team comps coming out, at least from that aspect from game 1.
Hey, as I watched you on Shen take on the Maokai, I said to my compatriots here, I love a good wet noodle fight.
Oh, I have no problem watching the top laners duke it out with the wet noodle contest up in the top lane.
So SEAL Team 6 said no to that Ash Misfortune bot lane, so it looks like Golden Salamanders is going to have to find a different support for the Kale. Golden Salamanders likewise saying no to the SEAL Team 6 Jax. They didn't want to see that again.
Is this going to be a dual AP bot lane with the brand into Morgana? Just try and outburn the Black Shield so it can't do anything because of all the AP damage.
That could be, could very well be.
I haven't seen a brand mid lane in forever, so that'd be my Rumble mid burn versus burn.
So far, I really like SEAL Team 6's draft. This is a team that fights together incredibly well.
Mm-hmm. Unless Poppy decides to separate them. With the ultimate separates the...
No, I was commenting that SEAL Team 6's team likes to fight together very well.
Yeah. Not gold. Yeah, Poppy will separate them out if they... And you have some good counter engage. Now, you don't have great engage out of SEAL Team 6, but if you get a Rumble ultimate down into like a charge coming out from the Poppy, you can get some... Wait a second. Who's the jungler? Is this a Poppy jungle?
This could be a Poppy jungle. Either that, or we have a Rumble in the jungle.
Rumble in the jungle.
I haven't seen a lot of Rumbles in jungles recently, so I would put my money on the Poppy. And this is SEAL Team 6 we're talking about, not Golden Salamanders.
That's true.
If it were Golden Salamanders, I'd say we're facing, a brand jungle here.
Yeah. Now, Talon coming out for Golden Salamanders. We banned Talon against our mid laner twice, knowing that the Golden Salamanders mid laner, he really enjoys playing the melee mid laners. I mean, he played Tryndamere, he's played Talon, he played Mordekaiser, and he definitely was stronger on them than he showed on the Vel'Koz. So maybe he can leave lane, jump some walls, and get some assassinations either top and bot.
The thing about a Talon mid is if they play very well with their jungler, they can be an incredibly oppressive duo. Just having a mid laner that's that mobile, that's always able to be there with you while you're invading. Unfortunately, or maybe not, they don't seem to be going that direction because Zac isn't the best of invading junglers. He doesn't have a lot of really good solo presence.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, there's a variety. It is looking to be a Poppy in the jungle. A variety of spells and abilities, right? Like, there's enough things coming out from both teams that we're going to get a very drastically different game from game one.
Not a problem.
Right? Zac is the only thing that's still the same?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost many of the other options were banned.
Yeah.
Alright, just for your reference, Poppy's W is Steadfast Presence.
Steadfast Presence. Well,
just in case you have to blurt that out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually pretty good at champions that I get to say a whole lot, but the Righteous Glory, that's an item. Kale's Ultimate. Where is that thing? There's a tool. Caster tool. Where are you at, buddy? Let's see here. Rumble. There's a neat little caster tool that we're going to pop up here because some of these champions, I don't know their names of their abilities, but I will be using it. Hopefully, can look at it here, see what happens.
I'll be looking at SEAL Team 6 bot lane quite a bit here. It's a very, very oppressive lane, and both Kale and Brand are just extraordinarily squishy. So one hit by a Morgana Q, it's Q, trap, net, dead.
Well, you have to trap auto, make sure the auto hits then net, because they fixed the bug.
Oh, sure. I was neglecting to say auto attack, but
Yes.
of course you're going to auto attack after both the trap and the net.
You can't do the saber thing or whatever people were calling it at the time.
That's a good point. Although I don't believe that has been patched out yet. That is slated for tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, yes. What? Today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, today's
Yes.
Wednesday. Patches usually come out on Wednesdays, not Thursdays. But
Is it out already? I did not.
no, it just unless it. Well, it was a really small patch, so I can't.
True. I may not have seen it. I may not have seen it downloaded.
Yeah. So, we'll definitely see what happens in that aspect before we get in. And Brand has gone exhaust.
I figured he didn't need another way to light people on fire.
I guess, but who are you going to exhaust? You're not going to get close enough to anyone other than maybe Poppy.
Rumble, I suppose.
Yeah, it depends on how the team fight go. So, Rumble onto Ornn.
I have to think that favors Rumble pretty heavily.
Unless Ornn can dodge a lot of the burn damage, the flame spitter, and just
his hitbox is just so large, though.
Yeah, and the MR, but you could purchase MR items in lane. Like you could literally just get a Negatron cloak before Rumble can back and even buy anything.
That's true. So he probably will have the resistance stat advantage early.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. May not help on the CSing end. I do not know how fast Poppy jungles. So, do you have any input on the Poppy versus Zac in the jungle matchup?
I don't play Poppy. I have a lot of time in on the big green boy, but I don't play a lot of Poppy. When I see her, she usually runs Predator, so that's how she'll get into lane. Her clear should be reasonably okay with all of the percent health magic damage that's even AoE that she has on her Q, but that's basically it. Just auto Q. She only has really one ability that she's going to spend a lot of time using. Of course, she can heroic charge a monster into a wall even, but the primary damage source is going to be your Qs and autos.
And then the mid lane, Orianna versus Talon. Just Orianna, don't die the Talon level 2, don't die the Talon level 4, don't die the Talon level 6, and I think you'll be all set.
Oh, but if solo Q is any indication, she's going to die to Talon at all of those levels.
Yes, well, this is not solo queue. This is CEAL, Freljord Division, week number 2.
Game number 4.
It's actually game number 6 of week number 2, but...
Oh, we had two teams play before this?
Yes.
Or two matches before this? I thought it was only one.
This, yes.
Game number 6.
Yeah, game number 6, but game number 4 for both of these teams. Total for the season.
Almost out of spectator. I'll be interested to see what runes everybody's taking. I'm hoping that all of their runes make sense. I'm expecting CEAL Team 6 runes to make sense, but the Golden Salamanders seem to make a living on confusing everybody that they are near.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for the Electrocute brand, or the Predator brand, or... I believe the Kale was running Press the Attack on Monday, so that's my guess as to what she's going to do again. Nope. Of course not. And it's a Comet brand and a Lethal Tempo Kale. Other than that, it looks... Poppy having gone Electrocute. That is another option that Poppy has. She can proc Electrocute reasonably well, but she gives up a lot of her ability to get onto you when she doesn't take Predator.
She also has gone for the precision for either attack speed or some type of tenacity, I guess. Attack speed and tenacity, maybe? No.
I wouldn't be surprised to see her take tenacity into that team. You kind of need it. Although, I mean, I guess not so much. A lot of it I can't do much about. Well, it'd be interesting.
Okay, get the whole loaded screen up here, and we go out onto the rift. On the side for SEAL Team 6 in the top lane, we have Busey Boy on the Rumble, Sharona on the Poppy, Jungle, Deft on Oriana mid lane, Skippy for you on the Caitlyn, Thymburglar on the Morgana. Coming out for the Gold Salamanders, up top we got Fat Honey Badger on Ornn, Daco Triller on Zac, who's getting some poke damage. Already coming out, harpooning the Zac all the way past his red buff. There is Busey Boy, the Epi champion on the Talon mid lane, Vux on Carry, Kale, and Hussey on the brand, Blue Flamin' Brand.
Did that little incursion up into Zac, and they did manage to get a ward down on his red, so they'll know he starts there.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, do you have to leash for Poppy? Probably. I don't think.
Likely.
So I mean, they know that Zac's starting up there, and the bot lane still has to sacrifice whatever advantage they know to go still help their tank. We'll see if... I'm surprised Brand and Kale are not, like, further down the lane. You know? Trying to get set up to push into level 2.
So it looks like they're doing the same thing here, where both Brand and Kale, both Vux and Hussey, have purchased support items. So they'll be looking to split gold between the two of them until they get to level 6. Just to play passive. That's their game plan. Play passive.
Yeah. We'll see how much Fat Honey Badger, real quick, did take the Grasp. How many Grasp procs he'll get onto the Rumble, who doesn't have to be in technically melee range, but most likely will here at the early levels.
Talon started roaming, getting a ward down. So he'll see when Poppy goes to her chickens. Although, I don't think that's a terribly useful ward because I don't see Poppy doing her chickens.
Probably not until she gets the Nami Cinder, right? Like, it seems... I mean, she does get a shield.
She does anyway, but it's just a taxing camp to take.
Well, Poppy's going to come in from behind here onto the with the Rumble. We'll see if it gets in onto Ornn. I think just going to auto. Waiting for, and we'll see if Ornn goes for the knockup. Nope, just going to get some grass procs. There's knocked into the wall, and that's a dead Ornn.
Waiting for that. The Ornn did a really good job walking away from the wall to start. And then he scared me a little bit when he threw his Q out, because Poppy can actually E him into his own Q. Basically, using the Q against the Poppy is giving her something to hit you into.
Yeah, and even though Rumble got the assist, also able to capitalize and get the wave like right in front of his tower, he's going to be able to back and purchase. Brand did lend some good poke down in the bot lane with the Morgana shield. Still strong. Oh, Ornn with the knockup. Gets it into tower. Let's see how risky he wants to play up here. I mean, it's level 4. You already burnt your teleport. Probably shouldn't be too risky. So, Poppy...
and he can probably even back himself.
Yeah. Poppy with the early aggression is definitely, like, Sharona definitely showed that that's the type of player Sharona is. He's going to be early aggressive, looking for these lanes to try and get the earliest impact in.
On another Demacian.
Yes, on another Demacian. Oof, missed the the combo out. Although Brand is just not only getting CS, but he's stacking those gold procs because the burn will always just start ticking the gold for him. He already has 200 gold. Compared to Morgana's 95 on the support item. So I guess the support items are helping out. Anyway. 5 minutes here. The Fire Drake has spawned. Do you think teams will actually fight for the dragon earlier this game than last time?
I don't know. It took them, what, 16 or so minutes to take the first dragon in the first game? Maybe they're looking for a faster game this time. Who knows?
It took a while. The first tower didn't go down until 23 minutes, and then 3 towers went down before 24 minutes. So it seems like everything happened right at that like 15 to 20 minute mark in game 1.
It was a very mid-game focused game for sure.
Oh, jeez.
Looking across the board, Ord is caught up to Rumble and CS. The mid laners, Talon has the lead.
Hussey just walking straight
Who
up.
has the lead. CS-wise, it's pretty easy to count up, but Brand is, with the double support item in bot lane, the CS is not the entire story.
Yeah, so I was trying to just check out the gold. It looks like the bot lane for CT6 here is, sitting at 1900 and 1200 versus the 14 and 18. So they're pretty much equal, like, as the whole bot lane is a total at the moment. But we are only 6 minutes in. Poppy found a Talon, or the other way around. Poppy
Like Oriana
really
did a good job pulling that wave to the side so that she could hold it closer to her tower for a little bit longer.
Zach is definitely getting the more clear, but Poppy is got the advantage getting the scuttles here pretty early on.
And the first blood as well. Looks like this time they see Poppy.
Yeah. Now the question is, can Talon is level 6 all in the Oriana? While Poppy is doing a jungle invade. Started red buff. This is interesting. Poppy.
The junglers don't know where each other are.
No, they don't. Oh, no, and, oh my gosh. The mind games are playing with each other.
Now.
Oh! And there's the knockup anyway. Rumble ult comes out. Here comes the Ornn ult. Poppy's already used the knockup. It's going to finish this off. It's going to flash out. Bloblets come out on the side of Zach, and I think that's going to be the end of that jungle. Sharona 2-0-1. All of the action happening up here in the top half of the map. These are going to be plates. And, yeah.
He does not enjoy playing into Poppy. No, she marched forward with her steadfast presence. He started charging his E, and immediately had to just switch targets and land near the Poppy, because you can't jump into steadfast presence with elastic slingshot like that.
No, you can't. And with those waves crashing, no teleport for Fat Honey Badger, that's going to be a real rough lane. He went for the Nami Cinder first, so he has no MR against the Rumble here, who
has 2 levels on him now.
Yeah, and is going to have pretty much control over this lane. And if Rumble wants to be greedy, you just stick around in this lane because you're not scared of the Nami Cinder, right? Like, you have boots, right? You have a little bit more mobility.
Right. And if I'm Sharona, I'm going to keep putting pressure on this top side. Everywhere else on the map is at least tenable. Oriana's been able to keep Talon in lane. She's done some CS, but
Talon is leaving lane and has now found Morgana. And flash and out. Let's see with the ignite. Flash and goes for the kill. And down goes, actually hands the kill over to the Kayle with the flash E. The E from the Kayle, the Starfile Spellblade. Yeah, cheat sheets for the win. So a good counter kill coming out on the side of Golden Salamanders. Now, can they turn that into a dragon, though?
Looks like they're not going to try. They're going to keep pushing into the turret.
Oh, Brand laying out lots of damage. Here comes Poppy. Caitlyn ult going to lay it onto Brand, force them to back off. Poppy just going to walk at them here. Zach going to walk away. And that's going to happen. So, and there's a ward. Somehow someone got a ward. I think that was Morgana got the ward on the blue buff, and that's why they were able to capitalize, jump on her way out of doing the invade. Moby boots on the Talon. He definitely needs to get his roam on now. Use those quick feet. Jump around. try and get some impact on these lanes. I mean,
he needs to start exerting pressure with his wave clear and shove, or and roaming ability.
Yeah, his ultimate is only, you know, a quarter left on the CDR, so we'll see what happens. Teleports both up for the top laners now, as Dragon maybe look for the focus as we got 4 people hanging out on the bottom half of the map.
A lot of vision, a lot more vision being dedicated to Dragon by both teams much earlier than it was the previous game.
Electrocute proc. Talon on Orianna does an excellent job. She's just been burning through those potions. Talon's going to jump the wall here and find the Orianna. There's the ult coming out from both champions here. She's going to have to shield away. Definitely, I think, in the favor of Talon on that one, though. Orianna's going to have to use all of like her corrupting pots. Talon can still jump in here and finish her off.
And there it is.
No, he doesn't have Ignite. I was about to say, if he's got Ignite, he just all ends.
Those are quick hands by Orianna to keep herself safe with the self-ultimate.
Poppy seen on the pink ward as Caitlyn not getting as much CS as she probably would like, as having to use a lot of time dancing around brand pillars. Just we check back on the gold, she's only 500 gold ahead of the CEAL as Poppy goes in for the gank. Zac comes in here to dissuade them from engaging, as Brand did let him stand out on Morgana, as Poppy's going to slam the Zac into the wall here and jump. Let's bounce as he's on a trap. Brand ultimate comes out. That's going to take down the Morgana. Poppy ult says CEAL goodbye. Come back next time. Talon coming over the wall, 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 over the wall. Throws up. No, come on.
I mean, it's a risky thing to jump over the wall into the pot. One, Poppy has steadfast presence, so she's going to prevent you from doing a whole lot. 2, you're next to a wall against a Poppy, and
that's true, pretty risky. Brand, comes out, flash out from the Poppy trying to get onto the Brand. There comes the slow. Pops another pillar out, just jump in. CEAL is going to not block. Poppy is just going full force here, and heal comes out from CEAL. There's the ult from Caitlyn.
Oh!
Talon's, though, here. Oh, no! Talon didn't land it perfectly. Zac's going to come over, and there's the black shield on the Poppy. Nothing damage in the trap, in the binding. All the CC. Talon cannot get away. And with those kills, they should be going for Dragon.
Morgana did use ult there on the way out. She max ranged the ult and immediately lost it.
Orianna was able to get a tower plate. I'm surprised they just didn't do Dragon right there. They had killed everyone.
I think that's an option, but Poppy was quite low, and I don't think Zac was. So they would have had to do it with minimal jungle assistance.
So this is an aggro Poppy.
This is a very aggro Poppy. Even
Warrior,
without Predator.
Warrior, Moby Boots, Poppy.
And that's how you get away with it without Predator. Just keep your Moby.
So, and with the Giant's belt there, Poppy probably goes, what, Deadman's next then? Just like, even more like, F it, I'm going
More move speed. More move speed.
More move speed. So, we're almost to the 14-minute mark. Rumble's gotten 3 tower plates in the top. Orion has gotten 1 in the mid, none in the bot lane. For either team here, so the gold now definitely going in favor of CT6, but I just mean, just look at the difference though between, it's almost all on the Poppy, right? He is like 2.5k up on his opponent, or just he's 2k.
She leads Zac in every category.
Yeah, I mean the mid laners are about even. I mean, I guess the CEAL is like 1,000 behind the Caitlyn, but Brand's 1,000 up on the Morgana, so I mean they've traded that gold off evenly, and the Rumble's 1,000 up there. So definitely looking for the Poppy to continue making this action. Sharona's played a really good game so far.
Golden Salamanders are kind of leaving Fat Honey Badger alone here in the top lane. They went up the one time with Zac to try to see what they could counter or maybe get something started into the Rumble, but it looks like now Rumble has decidedly won that lane, or decisively won that lane rather, and he's just going to have his way with this turret. This might be first now.
Oh,
and it will be. First turret over to SEAL Team 6, and Rumble's got ultimate. He's gonna keep going.
Oh no, we'll see if he actually fights this off. Flashing out. I don't think... No boots! It's going to be so hard for Ornn to catch up. You don't have boots. As we have a fight down in bot lane here while the jungle's going to happen is Zac is actually jump in. Caitlyn's going to go down, but Poppy gets the dragon in return. Talon may come over the wall. Comes over the wall. There's the Poppy. Poppy past the presence here as Orianna
Jump over the wall into a Poppy.
Yeah, that's rough. That's I think the problem here is they picked Talon at the very end of the pick ban phase, knowing it was going to be into a Poppy. Oh, Rumble. I know you
The shield looks like he walks away.
Yeah, the shield makes Rumble walk away. You're playing risky, though, at that point. You already got the tower. Go home.
Go home, Rumble.
Ocean Drake is Drake number 2. Do you think they'll want to fight for it? I mean, this KO brand bot lane is doing better than they did the other day, right? 1-0 and 2 versus 2-1-1.
Right there. They're good. Kale's got now her Nashor's Tooth. I love that item. I was saying on the other day on the cast that it's just a beautiful mix of CDR and AP and attack speed. It's just a lot of fun to play. So her having her first item, that's a really big spike. Although Caitlyn has also completed her first item and is pretty well on her way in.
And they've been doing an excellent job of keeping the pink wards down here set up, making sure that when Talon does go roaming, Sharona has like, okay, we got Rumble to the point. Rumble's in charge of the lane. I'm no longer going to go top. I'm just going to focus this bottom half of the map.
Right, it was a set it and forget it in top lane.
Yeah. Well, he did have to go, or I guess Poppy's a she, right? She did have to go up there twice. Zac's going to jump in here over the wall and try and get it on. Netting out of the way is Brand's actually going to eat the binding, and there goes the ult coming out, and down goes into Blaulift.
Just like you were saying.
Explosion, and here comes
Ooh.
Poppy. Kale ult actually prevents any more conversion. Zac's going to jump back in. Poppy's going to knock them back so they cannot keep doing the damage. He's gone golden. Kale stepped on a trap. Don't know if he can get the heal off in time. And let's see if Talon wants to keep on chasing this as Orianna is just CSing in the mid lane, getting that tower.
And Brand just burns through that black shield, and so Morgana can throw it down, but a Brandle bouncing back and forth between the two of them takes it off Caitlyn so quickly. It's almost like it was never there to begin with.
Yeah, but it was there just enough to prevent the Let's Bounce from Zac from knocking her around, so we'll see what happens. Is Poppy's going to try and get the stun here onto... Oh... That's a bummer. But Talon, return. Oh, steps on trap. And with Ignite, Caitlyn, flash. Oh, Brand! What was that? Runs down, takes the kill. As Orianna's now going to join the top lane party. As Rumble not going to finish off the Ornn. A lot more action in this game, Mane.
The pressure that Rumble has been able to put into top lane, I'm a little bit nervous about the amount of vision that they have. Of course, they understand that everybody is bot because everybody keeps showing bot, but it was only just now that that ward was placed next to red buff, so Rumble is actually quite vulnerable if Talon ever there and down. Rumble has right now no resistance.
Yeah, but has been bullying that lane, and the importance of the bottom half of the map has dragged everyone's attention down there, so he's really not felt any threat of Zac showing up to the top half of the map.
It's actually, I'd like to see Talon roll up.
Yeah. Well, Dragon's in 55 seconds, so we'll see if that makes any differences. We actually may see a Rift Herald take here then, as Rumble still has not yet back. He's sitting on over 1,000 gold, so we're pinging things out. Zac may want to come over, but if Zac tries to jump over, Steadfast Presence, this Poppy is, you know, I think taking the cake.
There it is.
In goes Zac, instantly gets stunned, hit into the wall, tries the Let's Bounce, not going to happen as Orianna knocks away the Talon, but not in time as Talon's now going to jump over the wall, and now it's Poppy versus the three of them. Gets knocked up, and Zach's going to come in, and she can't get staff for us up yet. Again, Talon with the shutdown. That's
this turn it was Poppy's chance to get too close to the wall.
Yeah, that's the person you want the shutdown on, too. Right? You want Talon, you need Talon to start going off here in this mid-game here. For the next 10 minutes, you need it to be the Epi Champion show, getting kills, while Kale gets a chance to continue the scale.
Yeah, now that Kale has a little bit of range, they're laying down their first hurt on that bot lane turret. This was actually the first Rift Herald of this series. No Rift Heralds were taken last game.
Flash in! Let's see if that's going to be enough. Brand's just going to instantly just try and kill. And okay, I guess the Morgana was able to get there real quickly. I think that Kale...
Echo, so he can walk up in full combo and make somebody wish they weren't standing so close.
It was interesting. I don't know if that was an accidental. It was just an interesting flash in. Oh well, the Dragon's going to go over to SEAL Team 6 as a result. Caitlyn's going to take the bottom tower with the help of Rumble. They're looking to push into this Tier 2 down here. Mountains for the rest of the game coming out, affecting it. Here comes the Rift. Here comes Shelly. Down goes probably the Tier 2 here in the bot lane at 22 minutes. Talon, don't do it.
They moved Rumble. So they moved Rumble out of his solo lane, and they're asking him to group now. Looks like his R is up, so he's ready to lay it down as soon as his Talon goes.
Oh no, Talon goes in. It's going to instantly get CC'd against the wall. Tries to pop out. Poppy's actually going to fish that one off. Rumble's CC, or ult is across. Zach's going to go down, so they're trying to follow in. This Kale's not laying out enough damage here. Brand is laying out actually the most bird damage here. And now that was a okay engage for Golden Salamanders, but the problem is Orianna wasn't there at all, and is just hanging out here in this mid lane, takes the Tier 2 in mid. The gold swing in the last like 10 minutes, 5 minutes has been great. We are hanging out about 1k down to even, and now they're up 5k, 4 to 5k here for GT6. Or CT6. I'm getting G's and C's mixed up. They look the same.
Taking a quick look at Vision. Again, I see most of it is put down by SEAL Team 6, or at least most of the spread Vision is maybe put down by SEAL Team 6. There's a couple of straggler wards here, and then there's a little bit of a cluster of them next to the Dragon. But there's not a lot of Vision being put down next to the Baron, which is the next major objective on them.
They didn't look at Baron until 37 minutes in game number 1. I don't know if they're going to be trying to take it out here early in game number 2. Because they're only up technically 2 kills. Now, they've gotten a lot of extra towers, and I think that's what's really component to their gold lead. But it's, once again, all their gold lead is on the Poppy, right?
So it looks like Rumble is going to take over the rest of the team to rotate towards the top side, which is, I think, the right thing to do. He has teleport up, hold his own down here in the side lane, and give his team the opportunity to maybe pressure Baron, or at least pressure that Tier 2 top lane turret, as that's the only Tier 2 left from
As Morgana's clearing out wards around the Baron. Kale's gone over to the mid lane to try and get some CS. Now that she is level 11, she does have some range on her to kind of help with that, as Talon's been put on top lane duty, but he's going to be able to just disengage his. That's kind of where the SEAL Team 6 is going. As you mentioned, the Vision is pretty superior here with the 3 pink wards and the triangle aspects on getting into the A's. Oh. Great job by Epi.
Oh, you hate to see flashing in for a kill only to have your target go.
Kale ultimate comes out. Excellent job. Orianna ult is already down. Will Poppy, Zach Bloblets are going to be up. Gonna jump. Oh, Brand gets the burn and the poke, but down goes. Did she heal? She healed, I think, before the explosion. And Kale walked right in. No more ultimate.
Wow, after such a decisive fight.
It looked like it was going 50-50, and then the explosion, just all the damage just popped. So I don't know if Kale was trying to access like the cutlass and active item use someone and step too far forward and just got finished off in the last fight. Her ultimate was already down. As now it's just Rumble's job to keep Ornn down here so the enemy, so his teammates can get the Baron. Sharona on this Poppy has been an absolute force to deal with.
Zach is closing in. They don't have vision down. Looks actually like SEAL Team 6 is without any. And there it is, a 25-minute Baron.
So they have definitely real strong section right here. I expect to use the Baron Empowered Recall to go back, and Dragon is in 10 seconds here. Try and get that mountain to get that aspect stacking. Rumble's just using the Baron to push against the Ornn. And then they only have left is the inhibitor towers. But they don't really have. They're what more of a 4-1 team comp, right? They can't really 1-3-1.
You leave the Rumble on his own.
Yeah.
You even have the opportunity to use kind of a free system for the Orianna ball if you leave the.
Rumble on her own is doing just fine as they now going to take the dragon. So what if you're Golden Salamanders here? How do you fight against this 3-dragon Baron empowered team?
As Golden Salamanders, you have to know that they're putting Rumble forward so that they can run and put a bunch of people. So with Rumble, as you know, in the position that he's in right now, I thought that may have been an opportunity for Talon to move in and engage along with the Ornn. I think they could probably 2v1 him. He still does this, and so I think does a significant amount of damage with the
Talon is down. Rumble is just chasing the Talon off with the burn damage, and because the Moby Boots is actually going to have to flash into his wall here, Morgana class the W. As the Caitlyn and Cannon minion, there's the Rumble ult happening there. Caitlyn in the poke, that's going to be a down tower here in the mid lane. Rumble's pushing in here in the bot lane, and if both these inhibitors go down, they just don't have the engage because the Poppy is such great disengage. I think it's getting close to the end here, unless we put up a valiant last stand. Zach's going to go in, and that's going to happen. He gets knocked away. Yet there's the Orion line pulling back in. Ornn's going to get knocked out. Let's see if Ornn can get it away. Kale is firing in the back lane. No, she's gotten to her own old brand. Damage is going to come off. Talon's gone to the back. Not going to be able to get finishing off. Poppy finishes off yet another champion, taking down the Kale, who took down the Morgana. Rumble has fallen. Talon has fallen. Zach has fallen. It is up to Hussey on the brand to finish off this team, but against the long range of Caitlyn and the powered up cannon minions, I don't know if he's going to have enough damage.
Too long range. He doesn't have R anymore either. That was burnt in that fight. And that'll be it. Game 2 going to the SEAL Team 6.
So that was a pretty definitive Game 2 coming out of that epic Game 1. Sharona, personal MVP, balling out on the jungle Poppy, taking that team for the victory. Let's check the stats here at the end. See what exactly we got coming to us here. So 19, 12, and 37 for the gold or SEAL Team 6, while 12, 19, and 23 for the Gold Salamanders. We looked into the damage coming out. Poppy dealt more damage than Orianna, but Orianna had Talon leaving lane. Rumble just burning away on that tank. Caitlyn just constantly autoing. Brand dealing an epic amount of damage on the side of Gold Salamanders. Anything else you want to touch on real quick here while we just sort of flip through the stats?
No, this was a a much quicker game because I think we saw somebody get ahead, and I see that happen a lot in my own games as well as others. Is once you have somebody that's a little bit ahead, it's very easy um, to push into the opposing team, and I think that's what happened here. Is Poppy just kind of ran away with it.
Yeah, the snowball occurred and it went on. Brand, still an excellent job, 53 on the ward score, so still trying to keep up. Good job when we're grinding with the 41. So trying to do their best for those type of stats. But we will be jumping in. Let's see if we can get some type of person in here. Do a little bit of an interview. Let's see here. Overall, how do you think sort of the series
I'm surprised at how even it looked to begin with, and then how uneven it looked afterwards. I wonder if the teams just got a little worn out after that first. Although that is now 4 games of the Golden Salamanders that I have seen so far, and all of them went quite long.
Hey, so I snagged someone in here. Let's see, we got a couple people on the side of SEAL Team 6. Congratulations on your win. Who do we got?
Got Lucy Boy and
Hello?
Tyrona.
Okay, I was about to say, wait a second. Tyrona. So,
hey guys, real quick, that
oh, right, I forgot the music on the intermission page. My apologies to the stream. Super loud. So welcome, Busey Boy and Shy Rush or Sharona. Congratulations on the 2-0. How do you guys feel?
Way better than last week.
Yeah.
Fortunes have swung, have they?
Yeah, we were all really rusty.
Did you guys have a chance to scrim before your first games last week?
Nah, man.
No, we hadn't played League, like, I don't even know how long.
Oh, so week 1 was just your warm up, and this is your final form here.
Oh yeah, preseason.
I basically I did my 10 placement matches, went 1 and 9. That was my warm up.
Hey, I think I did that too.
And then a week later, played the game on Sunday, which was terrible.
You can win placement matches?
Only one, I think.
Okay.
Still waiting on that.
So I wanted to ask about the Poppy. You know, I've seen Poppies every now and then run in the jungle, but they're usually running Predator. This time you elected for Electrocute. What's the thought there?
They had a really late game scaling team if it was going to work, so I figured easy enough, kill them all early.
So why not then go after somebody who's a little bit more classically aggressive early, like that Jarvan?
My Poppy is probably my most comfortable pick.
Okay, comfort picks are always a good thing to go after.
Yeah. Been playing her since season 1.
Did you think that the Poppy just sort of perfectly countered kind of what they wanted to do with the Ornn,
That's so funny. Oh, let me stop you there. This is hilarious because we were in Champs Select going through it, and I wanted the Poppy, and my team was disagreeing with it because it wasn't going to go with their comp, but then they started picking things that Poppy countered, and it was just like, all right, this was a great pick.
Accidental, huh?
Yeah.
Complete accident.
So, did you guys know about the Kale AD carry or the Kale carry with the mage support from
Monday's game?
From Monday's match?
Someone mentioned it in our group. I thought it was going to be a mid or a top, but yeah, they said it might be 80 carry KO.
Yeah, it's being on the other end the very first time of it. It definitely threw us for a loop. So,
I just don't think it works early at all. Like you get pressured a bit too hard.
So, while you say you get pressured too hard, in this game, they actually were as a bot lane between the two of them were matching the gold totals of your guys' bot lane until you had taken like multiple towers.
But really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
if you run the double support item, you're doing the double gold generation there.
gold aside, though, they lost a lot of pressure. They couldn't get Zach in there for ganks, and they couldn't really capitalize on that.
No, yeah, there's a lot of defaults to it, but as a specifically as a two versus two, the gold advantage that you seem to have in the pressure just was not maybe as great as otherwise expected. But it's definitely an interesting strategy that the other team has brought out multiple times, and if they've been having success with it in like flex queue or normals, I'm thinking that it's something that they feel comfortable with, but it's something that in an organized league like this, it needs a little bit more polish before it brings to its full effectiveness.
Yeah. Our team, we usually just go with a lot of comfort picks that like synergize pretty well together.
I think that's one of the strongest things that players can do, and I think it's underrated a lot, is going with the champion that you feel the most comfortable on. On comfort, I wanted to ask a question for Butchie Boy real quick. Do you normally keep Flash on D or F?
D, right? I usually keep Ignite on F. Oh my god.
So what key do you normally put Teleport on?
F. Same key I put Ignite on.
Okay, F in chat then. F in chat. Just like F on flag.
Yep, that's exactly what I did. My head was hitting my desk at that time. I was just, well, guys, goodbye fight.
I just couldn't stop laughing.
No, we all have those moments, so I'm glad you can laugh at it now. So
we'll make sure to get it on a highlight reel somewhere.
Oh yeah, someone definitely has clipped that on the Twitch. So
I need to curb your enthusiasm music to it.
All right, it's a challenge for the editors out there. Go ahead. We're looking for curb your enthusiasm, and then maybe at the end, just a picture of Larry David looking very confused.
Yeah. Seeing as this is your second match, what have you guys learned from the first experience of week 1 of CEAL versus week 2?
A little more about what the competition level looks like in this bracket, I guess. Like, we weren't really sure who we were going against and like how good and fresh people were with whatever and how well we played together. And after the first set of games, we kind of realized we just need to calm down and draft our comp.
So as someone who hasn't been with the league for very long, did you guys play together last year, or is this your first together?
So we played, actually, there was another tournament about 4 or 5 years ago we used to play in. It's a regional Virginia tournament. We just kind of all like know each other in real life, and we're playing in that. Figured revive the dream, we're all old now.
Yeah, we've all been together for like 20-ish years, so.
Okay.
Makes it easy.
We're glad you guys stick around. You guys can be the washed up one tricks of the Freljord division.
Yes.
Those old dudes have been around the block a few times. Anything else particular like about weeks 1 and 2 here? Maybe going towards the future? Anything you're looking forward to, or?
When you ask,
we need to get a little smoother in draft. I can definitely say that.
When Shy Rush said, when you ask him to pick a, high tempo jungler and he says Poppy, well,
you wouldn't let me play Morgana.
Oh my god, yeah,
To be fair, Poppy has a lot more tempo than Morgana in the jungle.
No lie, target ban Poppy against us because he wants to jungle it, and I don't want to have to ban it against my own teammate.
Well, if it doesn't work, then I won't play it.
That's good advice for anyone you're facing the CEAL Team 6 here. Ban Poppy. Helps you, and it helps them.
Morgana, ban Morgana.
And Morgana. Apparently we need 17 bans. So, thank you guys so much for participating in not only the league, but allowing us to stream your stuff and coming into the room to chat a little bit about your match tonight. So, anything else you want to say?
I'm looking forward to watching the VOD for it.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. You guys have a good night.
You too.
I guess.
Okay, Monte Carlo method. Let's wrap it on up here for the match. give us your final thoughts.
Well, week 2 has gotten off to a long start. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I enjoyed it very much. I'm just getting the chance to see a little bit more of this division now. I've seen now Golden Salamanders twice. I've seen SEAL Team 6, and now I've also seen your team, the Dirty Cheese. Kind of looking forward to maybe casting the next game in this division. Just to maybe I'll become an expert in the Freljord.
Well, you won't have to pack a winter coat because these games are on fire. Yeah, finally got one at the end of the night here.
There you go. There you go.
Right
Success.
before midnight EST. I'm going to be headed off to bed. I will be putting this stuff on the YouTubes tomorrow when I'm awake. It's just an awesome way to great start to week 2. I will be back next Wednesday night as your streamer. If there's a match on Wednesday is the Amos Night Throne stream. So if you like those type of jokes, if you like the fast talking, and you like the great action that we bring you from CEAL, definitely show back up. Follow the Twitch, follow the YouTube, follow the Twitters, participate in the Discord, set your matches for weeks 2 and 3 if you have not yet done so, and I think that's going to be it. Everyone have a good night, and we will see you next time.